Hey guys, today is Tuesday. We have CPI today at 8:30, and today was definitely a really good trading day. So probably one of the best price action conditions I've seen the last, I think, 3 weeks. So pretty insane day today. Still, unfortunately, my risk management was not perfect today. Risk management was, but definitely not where I took my partials, and also maybe a stop could have also been placed differently. So that's the business of today. Right here you can see CPI news, not really a huge effect on the market, and yeah, we are at all-time highs, but as you can see right here, we have a bearish day, and actually we had really just clean expansion to the downside. I think you can already look at it like here on the hourly chart. So also I marked out the hourly fair gap right here, which we are now trading in currently. In my opinion, a really clean retracement to the downside. So Asia already expanded lower, London and New York open kill zone. We had New York open kill zone, says liquidity untouched. We scrapped London highs, and now we are expanding lower. Just really clean trading day. And before we go into the setups, I want to take a quick glance on regular trading hours. So as you probably expected, new open range gap to the downside. So bearish gap consists of 183 handles, so trading conditions, and therefore we want to see that we trade back at least to the upper quadrant. We can also trade back to the CE level right here, and from there on continue our trend to the downside. We also do have really clean trendline liquidity right here. I marked out the low right here because that's really trendline liquidity. Afterwards we are trading, or we swap basically every trendline liquidity, so therefore that was a more important level to me. Traded into it, and we have also still this new open range gap from Friday, which is unfilled, so probably even trading back to that. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, I think that was already you have to see on regular trading hours. So now back to the executions I took today. So as you know, if you have basically expansion over Asia, London, and New York open kill zone, I expect that AM is going to be a session retracement, and that's what we saw right here. So 9:30 opens up, basically just banks around, sweeps engineered sets liquidity right here, trades back to the 8:30 opening price, and from there on takes off. I entered right here long. It looks like we are trading at external buys liquidity, but in that case, we really need to see a AM session retracement. We have those 2 wicks to the downside, but that's not a rejection block. That's a balanced price range because we have a bearish wick to the downside and also basically a bullish wick to the downside. And therefore, to me, that's not really a huge problem. I want to see really speed on the 5-minute chart to the upside towards London highs. And that trade was completely clean, so entered right here, stop basically below the 9:30 opening price. I want to see that we have right here basically breakaway gaps, as already explained. To me, the most important sensitive price point in that case is the wick of the huge order block right here. And therefore I want to see that we stay within that. We did. We entered right here with 2 contracts and took 1 partial right here really early in that case, yes. But that's what I really did wrong. So I could have basically hold it with 2 contracts just for London highs. In that case, I was really greedy because maybe I took this first partial too early, therefore I wanted to get a bit more. Just at the end of the day, I was just too greedy, got stopped right here, because if we are trading against the higher time frame, we cannot expect expansion. So that's just really a simple rule. I know actually that, but I was probably not really too aware of that we have to stop trading right there, or basically only aim for the low-hanging fruit. But what maybe was a bit something I was confused by is how aggressively we traded above basically the upper quadrant level. So I took my first partial right here because we had traded above the upper quadrant level. As I explained before, I want to see that we trade back at least to the upper quadrant level. So that's definitely in that case a good partial regarding regular trading hours. But in that case, we were really bullish to the upside, and I expected that we can eventually maybe even trade back into Monday's open range gap. but we failed to reach CE, we failed to reach the gap, and from there I got stopped. So in that case, even if we completely overshoot basically the upper quadrant and close aggressively above it, that doesn't mean at all that we are bullish. We still can trade back to the CE level and from there on continue our trend to the downside. So in that case, once again, as I now mentioned before, we cannot expect a expansion if we are trending against the higher time frame trend. Therefore, I can only aim for the external buys liquidity and not more. And that was definitely wrong today. Then we broke down, and I was already aware of the fact that we're in a bearish trending day. So I really like to see that we have a ATM model being in play right here. So basically 930 manipulation to the upside in that case, and that we are going to attack New Open Kill Zones as liquidity and also Asia highs. Sorry, lows. Enter right here short. In that case, I'm content with that because we really aggressively also right here closed. I don't know, not slightly, we did not close below CE, but in that case, I want to see once again that we are going to expand in low resistance to the downside because we are definitely trading aligned with the higher time frame trend, and we should not really spend too much time here in the upper or basically above the 930 opening price. I got stopped right here, and in that case, it was a really, or could have been avoided because I marked out the inversion file gap right here, and that's definitely something we can trade into. And also, more importantly, we have the way larger wick right here. That's what I marked out right here, and we trade perfectly to CE. That's so amazing. I think that we can hit targets like this perfectly. In that case, yeah, my stop could have been a bit higher above CE level. In that case, it's a bit a wide risk, I have to admit. I would have liked that we only stay basically within the, not inversion gap, within the fair gap right here. That would have been perfect. In that case, yeah, we see a short-term run on stops right there, trading back to CE of the wick. I mean, yeah, definitely can happen. Therefore, a wider stop could have been a option. Still, I'm content with getting stopped right there. But I'm, definitely aware of the fact, or was aware of the fact, that we're going to trade lower. Enter right here with two contract once again. So first trade long right here, second trade short right here, got stopped, re-entered short right there. Took my first partial at the 830 opening price right there, and yeah, was aiming for a expansion to the downside. Why? Because we're just trading aligned with the high time frame trend, and I was still expecting way lower prices. I got stopped right there, or basically closed my position after we had the CSD right there. I do not like that. I want to stay in low resistance conditions. I think in that case that was done correct, because I want to aim for a expansion to the downside if we have such aggressive trading conditions, if we are trading aligned with the higher time frame, with regular trading hours, and also with the lower time frame, in that case also being aligned with our 10 macro, so we still can expect expansion. In that case, it's a bit unfortunate that we saw such a retracement to the upside, but right here, once again, perfect setup. As you can see right here, trade back to the order block, close below CE, created SMT. We have this perfect bearish breaker. We have CSD being in play right here. We have this order block right here. We trade perfectly to CE and from then really, expanded lower. So today was really clean price action. Unfortunately, I've not really got much out of it. So just because I was too greedy right here, that would have been a perfect trade, and maybe also because my stop placement right there was not perfect. And I think the trade right here was well done, so that I would do this basically right here again. To enter a fourth trade, in my opinion, is a bit much, also because we are now trading at 10:30. I mean, that is basically a inside macro time, so it's not really a macro, but really often we expand with 10:30. So in that case, I think it is a possible trade if we would have not taken any trades before. But yeah, as I now mentioned, because I'm also green on a day, I don't want you to risk even more. We are also already now expanded basically on regular trading hours. I mean, with we swapped basically so basically, if we have trending conditions, always with trading below AM session liquidity, we have to be careful. So first, that's why also I like to take my first partial right here, because we sweep AM session liquidity, and then we sweep AM session liquidity right here once more, and then we have to basically be really careful. So no trades definitely from now on, in my opinion. So if you're going to trade the AM session, because now we are really overextended to the downside already. But this right here would have been a really clean trade, especially because we are also right here in advance of the hourly fair gap I marked out before. But yeah, I think, yeah, I still have to get better with risk management, money management in particular. So really content with the trade right there. Also probably with the first partial. I think that's okay. But yeah, I have to close my full position right there, and that's a perfect trade. But yeah, that's basically it. So hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Really clean price action once again. So hope you can stay in such conditions a bit longer. Probably the best price action I've seen in the last 3 weeks, definitely. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown and see you soon.